Hello everybody, this is Anna Minchaka, your realtor who lives in Titusville, Space Coast, Florida, and I need to talk to you about something very important. There's some things that I want to tell you about that you shouldn't do for your home. I mean, over improvements, especially in Florida. Everybody's trying to move over here. There's lots of good things about Florida, but don't overdo it, don't overinvest. Number one thing that I can tell you, because I moved over here with children, do not invest in those huge playgrounds. First of all, it's always super hot over here, so those equipments, they get extremely hot and the kids cannot really use them or play them. We kind of opt out going to playground places, or if you want to spend more money and create a shade, that's another thing. Of course you can do that, but remember, we do get hurricanes, we do get high winds, and all those shades that people like to do, 4-post and the stretchy thing, it flies away. Actually, yesterday we had a huge hurricane. Thanks God we're in the Space Coast, so we got very lucky. Some fallen leaves, some branches. We didn't get so much rain, but it was windy and some of the wires got knocked out and people lost power. But next day everything is back to normal. We cleaned our yard from those leaves and branches. It was very easy. So we are lucky over here. But anyway, number one that I would recommend, do not invest in those playgrounds. Take your kids to the parks, take your kids to the play places, but don't spend, $5,000-$10,000 for putting, those swings and slides in your backyard. It's just not a good investment, and it does not improve your house in money-wise. Like, it does not increase your price. Another thing I would like to talk about again, lots of people love to put those outdoor kitchens, and those outdoor kitchens are beautiful. Yes, it's very fancy, it's really nice to have parties, but honestly, again, thousands and thousands of dollars, because you have to have stone, you have to have granite for this thing to last, especially in Florida. Again, we have such a high humidity, and when you put those barbecues outside or stainless steel appliances outside, they do get rusty. I'm talking from my own experience. And again, those thousands of dollars, they do not really add value to your home. Let's say you buy a house, and honestly, no one ever knows, especially when they buy for the first time, if this is their forever home. So in investment scenario, it's just not a good investment. So please don't do it, especially if you're not planning to stay there forever or you're not planning to have parties all the time. Just don't do it. Not a good investment, doesn't bring a lot of value to your home, but it does take a lot of time to take care of those things. One more major thing, guys. I know it's very popular right now. I know that we live in the time where everybody talking economy, electricity saving, going green, and I'm sure most of you already know and getting phone calls and all kind of advertising about solar panels. So be careful with the solar panels. As good as they are, they're not for everyone. Especially when you put it on your home that, in a couple of years you decide to sell. Here in Florida, it's a very difficult thing. I'm talking from experience. Solar panels are expensive, and on the long run, for them to pay off, it takes years. Unless, of course, you buy them straight out, and then yes, it's great. But most of us, regular people, it's not a good idea. The advertising is amazing. I actually got a consultation myself, and not just one, a few. And honestly, with the second time, I had more questions to ask. And what we learned is very hard to sell a house with solar panels. And the main reason is because when you get those panels, free installation, free this, free that, your electricity bill goes down, and you kind of do see it on paper. Let's say you decided to sell the next year. There's a lien on your house, and when you sell your house, let's say you pay your mortgage off, the lien of solar panels becomes number one. So the next buyer who's going to be buying your home has to inherit this lien, and sometimes those $250, $30, I don't know, $200 $70, whatever the price you paying per month, will increase the next buyer's ratio. Okay, let's say you sell a new house for $350,000. The mortgage should be around $1,700 a month. Add those $250 on top of it, and it would seem like you're buying a house for like $450,000, which is all it is. Solar panels. So please be careful when you make these solar panels decisions. Really think through. Talk to your realtor, of course. Talk to your title company who you bought the house with, and ask them. They have the most experience dealing with sales of homes, and they know how difficult it is to transfer the solar panels installment plans, and then how difficult it is to sell. Or some buyers asking the seller to pay it off right there. So again, let's say you're selling your house at $350,000 and you have to sell or buy off the solar panels straight at the closing table, and it can be $30,000 to $50,000, whatever the package you got. You know how good it is, how many, and then by paying your mortgage off and then paying the panels off, you may walk away upside down. So again, please be very careful with your decisions, especially the solar panels. You can call me, of course, call your mortgage, see if it's a good idea or not, and you know what's going to happen when you have to sell a home. And of course, the company who is trying to sell you solar panels or install it for free, you do have to ask all these questions. Am I going to have a lien on my house? What is my payout amount? How long it's going to take for those solar panels to pay off altogether? Very, very important. So this is just another thing to worry about. Should you invest in it or should you just hold off, especially if this is not your forever home? One more important thing here in Florida, actually one of the most important thing, is AC system. Yes, we cannot survive here without AC. That's why there's lots of companies who service AC, install ACs, and there's so many competition in this case scenario. And yes, AC systems are very expensive, and some homeowners, when they do have to upgrade, they take those systems as a lease. So again, very important, lease financing, you do need to know the difference between those two. And again, you have to see for how many years you're getting yourself in, and if those installments, leases, financing plans are transferable. Again, if you decide you sell your house, if you have that kind of financing on your AC system, is it transferable? Are you willing to pay this amount that can be running from $5,000 to $10,000? Of course, it depends on what you did. If you did change all the duct system, or if you did change your air handler or the AC outside. This is all very, very expensive. And again, when you do this and it seems like, you know, $70 a month, $100 a month, whatever the deal you got, it can be another difficulty when you decide to sell a house, because a lot of buyers, they do not want to have your lease or those extra payments, because again, the buying power depends on monthly payments, and that those kind of leases, they affect the buying power. So please be careful, don't overdo it. If you're ready to do this system, of course it's good to pay right out and have it, you know, free of liens. If you can't, make sure it's transferable, or you have to make sure there is no buyout penalty, because a lot of companies, you know, if you want to buy it out pretty soon, let's say you got it in January, in October you put your house on the market, but there is a little catch, you know, for the first 3 years you're not allowed to buy out, or you have to pay penalties, which can be very, very expensive, you know, another 50% on top of the price of your unit and the whole system, whatever you did. So again, don't overdo it, be careful with that one, and make sure to ask questions from the company who is trying to sell you this stuff, read your contract, talk to your realtor. I hope you have a good one. And if you don't, you can always call me and ask those questions. You know, I need the renovation, the AC is super, super important. What is the best way to do? So please call, ask, text. I'm here to help you out. I've been flipping houses for a long time, so I do know this stuff inside out. Please reach out. Don't feel shy. And just a general thing, don't overdo it on your kitchens, don't overdo it on your bathrooms if you're planning to sell this house in the future. Of course, before you start any renovation, get at least 3 estimates from different companies, different people, shop around. And when you do shop online, just compare things, apples to apples. These styles, those styles, this kind of kitchen cabinets, what's better, granite, or should I put quartz, or should I go with marble? Because at the end of the day, if you have your house in a regular neighborhood, let's say 300,000 homes, price range to 500,000. If you put marble in your bathroom, your marble countertops in the kitchen, but the next door, just sold for 450, it's kind of hard to ask 600,000 for your house because you have all these marble finishes and maybe golden handles or Swarovski faucets. It's just not worth it, okay? Even if you like those sparkly things, beautiful things, because I do. Shop around. There's a lot of things look alike, usually will not make a huge difference. And if you're not living in a super luxury home, I'm talking about $1 million and up, just don't overinvest, don't overdo it. If you want to update your bathroom, it's very simple. There's so much available right now just in the regular Home Depot and Lowe's stores. And if you're not planning to live with this house for next 25 years and you're doing this once in a lifetime, don't overdo it. It will not pay off at the end. And no matter what, I'm talking with experience over here in Florida, a lot of people look at the prices and then compare the next house to the next house on a square footage range. So if you spend lots of money on your marble, granite, golden handles, and you think your house like $300 per square foot, but the neighbors is $150, it's very, very hard to sell. So be careful, don't overdo it. Talk to your realtor. And of course, I'm wishing you guys the best. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm here, Anna Menchaca with eXp Realty and the FIG team.